Over here, the shift lever with your different positions. I wonder if I could get this by doing this. Over here are buttons for the, I bet I can get this upside down too. Over here are buttons for the lumbar control, the back control, plus I have a fog light right over there, which is kind of nice. And this is driver's seat or passenger seat. Different positions for your back. Over here is a storage compartment for cassettes. There's actually a center console. Swing the camera back around the normal way. Let's see where we're at now. Here's a glove compartment, which is kind of big, oddly enough. Huge. With a remote control for the trunk or a lockout. The light doesn't work in there. And that's pretty much it. I'm now sitting in the back seat just to show a few more things from this distance. First of all, this car is the only car I've ever seen in my life that has two sun visors. Here's your standard sun visor, which you pull out, and like the Cadillacs, it has an extension here. Now, if you're driving about 5 o'clock in the afternoon and the sun's starting to set, and you turn a corner, you have a secondary sun visor here, which flips down, so you're actually blocked both ways, from the side window and the front window, which is a great idea. Two sun visors, which is kind of neat. And the passenger side has the same thing. And of course, this has the usual mirror with lights, and we have a dimmer on these lights, not just a high and low switch. It's kind of neat. These actually dim. Turn those off. Up here in the center of the car, this is a garage door holder, remote control holder, and over here, a little holder for your sunglasses, which are up there somewhere. There they are. Sunglass holder. This is the very unique day-night mirror. It doesn't have the usual control. It's got a little spot up there, which actually detects headlights coming at you, and it's also not auto-focusing very well either. And the mirror kind of turns a dark green, and it actually blocks the headlights coming at you. It's kind of unique. So that's really it. Finally got a decent tour of this car here on December 9th of 1996. Reevemobile number 15, and this one I hope to hold on to for a while. I've got to soup up the stereo a little bit because I have no low end whatsoever, and I had to have the brakes worked on the day I bought the car, but other than that it's been running just fine. The old Touring Sedan logo there with all the dirt. So that's it for this Reevemobile. Hopefully we'll have this one for a while. Ray Glasser, take care. Okay, we're going to start the car. Here's one of my favorite most things about this car. When you first turn the car on, it tells you good afternoon, or good morning, or good evening. Monitored systems, okay. That's letting you know that all the systems that this thing is monitoring, obviously, are okay. This is a bright green display, which is coming out, there we go, kind of white in the viewfinder. I guess I was too bright. I'm going to push all these buttons now and show you exactly what all this stuff does. There's our average gas mileage. This is how much gas I've used. Push the same button again. How many gallons remain. Next button is how many miles I have to go on this tank of gas. The average speed on this tank of gas. And yes, there are beeps to this thing. Again, oil life, when you get the oil change, you reset this thing to 100%, and it goes down to 0. Shows you how long in between oil changes. Here are the gauges. Here's my coolant temperature, oil pressure, battery, and the tach. This is one of your touring things now. I just set this to like 9999 a couple weeks ago. That's how many miles to the destination. Trip over 7 days, I just played around with that. This is a countdown clock. If you want to reset this thing to how many hours or whatever on the trip, you can reset this. Here's today's date and today's time. And the last two buttons are just to turn this thing off or to reset it, which is kind of nice. Let me see if I can get this thing to actually come out green by turning this way down. There we go. Not too bad. Now there is one button over there that I did talk about that says test, you hit test, and you get this. And notice how it kind of wipes from the left to the right. I think that's kind of neat. Push test again. There we go. Now let's push the trip odometer, see how much I've driven on this car. I've driven 320 miles plus 150 in the month I've had it, because I had the brakes worked on. I had to reset this thing. One thing I did forget to show is the mileage of the car with a lot of glare. 78373. Bought this thing, I had like 77,500 I think, so I haven't put on a whole lot in the month. But again, I don't really drive that much. So that's about it. Another tour of the Oldsmobile. Hopefully I'll hang on to this one for at least 2 or 3 years. It's so nice, and it rides like a Cadillac, so I'm really happy with it. That's Ray Glasser on October 28th of 1996. And tour of the Oldsmobile. See how long this one lasts. And we'll see you later. So long.